So you're looking around on the internet for more information about limu. Maybe you're looking for a review. Maybe you just joined the company, or you know somebody who did. Maybe you actually went to a presentation, or you were possibly somebody's three who get three, right? Or maybe, just maybe, you're actually looking around on the internet because you think it's a scam and they're just trying to take your money and run, right? I'm Brian Couch. I'm from thosemlnboys.com, and I review a lot of these companies. My girlfriend actually was just telling me about her friend got in limu, and I did my research on it. It looks like a great company. You get your three who get three, and it's you're paid for, and they show you how much money you're going to be making on each level down. And on the surface level, that seems really, really, really awesome, right? But I'll get to that in a second and why a lot of people think it's a scam. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about me. I went to College Station, Texas A&M. I graduated. I got my degree in computer science. And, I jumped right out into the working world. I thought, I'm going to get this. I got this piece of paper, this degree that says that I can get a job anywhere I want, right? It's going to get my foot in for a position to interview to build somebody else's business, right? Build somebody else's dream. And ultimately, they can pay me however little will keep me on board and still make them a profit, right? So I was doing that for a while. Actually, that's not entirely true. When I first jumped in, I couldn't really get a job because the job market nowadays isn't quite what it used to be. When I went into college, I was thinking that this was going to be almost, not that they said it was a guarantee, but it was pretty assumed that it was going to be easy to get a job. Well, it's not like that anymore, and I actually struggled for a while to find one. I ultimately had to get a job for my friend's dad, making $11 an hour, living in his laundry room on a mattress on the floor, right? So I'm making $11 an hour, living on that mattress. I work my way up that company to a full-time salary position, and I get laid off, right? At this point, I realized that job security is kind of a joke. Job security is something that employers like to tell employees, that they can get a job and have some security. It doesn't really work that way. They'll kind of lay you off as soon as they start doing that, right? You're only employed as long as they're doing well. And as soon as you aren't, it's not going to cut into their bottom line, right? So anyway, I figured that out, and I realized that I need to get involved in something else that can make me money, right? I realized that maybe like you do, that I want more with my life, right? That I have dreams, that I want to travel, that I want to have money coming in. I want to build a passive, leveraged, residual income, right? So I jump into network marketing, a company not like limu, but pretty similar in that, you basically, it was actually a health and wellness company. We had our own juices and stuff like that, and it's good stuff, right? Because it helps people out. The products are good. It's gluten-free, like the limu products are. Maybe a lot of people need help with their health, and so that's awesome, right? But what I was told is, I just got to get two who get two who get two, right? Just like with limus, you get three who get three, and then they help those people get three who get three, and all of a sudden you got this massive organization of millions of people underneath you overnight. Well, if you've been doing this any time at all, you realize that most people don't get more than one. Most people don't even really get one, let alone three who get three who get three. And ultimately, you kind of have to get 10, and then that one will get another 10, right? So how do you do that? You kind of have to run through the numbers, right? For the most part, most people are not going to be interested. Because just like I did, limu is probably going to tell you to do something really, really similar, your upline, depending on how to build a business. But the traditional, normal way to bring somebody who has no experience at all, just launch them right into business in the way that's most likely for them to have success, is to tell them to make a list. And that's a list of your friends and your family and your business contacts and whoever the hell you've happened to have met through your entire life growing up. And, go contact that list, invite them to a presentation, show them what the plan, show them what it's all about, let them sample some products, and then follow up with them casually and collect a decision. You'll find that 80–90%, depending on who you are, right? Obviously, you got a couple of people who you could say, hey, I got in this thing, just get in. And they're like, what is it, $100, $200? Sure, whatever, it's fine. You might have some relationships like that, and that's cool. And, if you could pull that off and, maybe some of them know some people that know a whole lot of people, it can kind of explode for you in a really, really awesome way. And, in fact, you've probably heard stories of people who just kind of got a couple who got a couple, and all of a sudden, they're out of their job and they're traveling around the world and the company's buying them vacations and cars and shit. So, you got to make this list, and you're going to run through that list as quick as possible, all right? So if you're like me, and most likely you are, you kind of realize that you don't know everybody, right? You have a finite list. There is an end to it, and 80–90% of people on that list aren't going to be interested at all. At that point, you have to find a new way to grow that list, all right? So a lot of people will go and, they'll go out to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, they'll go to networking meetings. A lot of real scrappy, kind of hard asses will go out there and they'll use the 3-foot rule. Anybody within 3 feet, they'll introduce them and make sure that they know that limu exists and that they can make $1 million if they wanted to, right? So those ways work, but they're a grind, they're difficult, and ultimately, there's got to be a better way than just hitting up strangers, hitting up your friends and family about starting a business. Because, although most people don't want to start a business, there are a whole lot of people that do want to start a business. There are a whole lot of people out there that realize that, they don't want to be stuck in a little cage of a cell, of a cubicle like I used to be. They don't want to be like stuck in an office, even though they might have a window that they can look out and see some traffic or something. They realize that there needs to be something more to life than sitting down in front of a computer for 8 hours a day, 40, 50 hours a week, like I was, right? So, that's what happened. Basically, I got laid off. I got into this. I started, not really this, but into a network marketing company similar to it. And I had to find a new way to grow my list. I had to find a way to market my business, right? So I start looking around online. I watch a video real similar to the one that you're watching now, and I decided to get in, right? I just decided to click on the link that they had below, like there is one below in the description here. You can click at any time. I just decided to jump right in and check it out, see what the system's all about, see how this works, because it wasn't really that much money. And I was like, what I'm doing isn't working. I've got to find a way to make this work better and faster, more consistently, something that I can really, get out of my job, right? So I get another job because I got laid off from the last one. I was in it for about a year. I made them a whole bunch more money than they paid me, and I was doing finance stuff, so I could tell that. And ultimately, they still had to cut me. So I get another job. I'm working that other job. And a year goes by, and that company's over me too. Their profits go down. They got to cut 10% of the company. 40 people go home jobless. Here I am again, out of my ass, right? But luckily this time, I'd actually applied the information that I learned from that marketing. In fact, let me tell you a quick story. There's one time I'm out in Colorado and I get a phone call, right? And I'm on the top of the mountain. I'm at this country music festival, right? It's called the Texas Music Festival. For some reason or another, it's in Colorado in Steamboat Springs on top of a mountain. I'm skiing, right? And I get this phone. I'm resting, and I get this phone call. I'm like, I wonder who this is. I answer it, and it's this woman named Mary. Mary's real fired up. She's awesome. She told me that she joined me in my business, right? She saw the stuff. Basically, what I did is I joined the marketing system. I did what they said. I followed a couple simple steps, consistently for about a small amount of time. I put the effort in. I did what they said to do. And this lady called me up and said, hey, I just joined your team. I'm fired up. How do I get started, right? And it hit me. Whoa. You're telling me that you saw the marketing that I did. You saw the efforts that I put out there. And, you, like me, realize that you want to make a lot more money and you don't really want to bother your friends and family constantly. Or maybe you already have and they're tired of hearing about it, right? Because a lot of people will jump from company to company thinking it's the deal's fault, but really it's just their method of going about it, right? So basically what I found out there is that marketing does work, that this lady actually joined me without me talking to her because she saw my marketing, she saw my sales funnels. I plugged her into a simple system that actually duplicates, right? So back to my story, I get laid off from my second job, but this time I had actually had two 4-figure days, right? I'm like, hey, I had a plan already in action. I was actually like about a month or so into my plan of when I was going to put my 2 weeks in and quit my job and tell my boss, like, hey, and this was something I fantasized about all the time, like going in there and tell my boss, like, hey, look, I got this side business, and it's actually costing money to stay here and work for you because I make more money there, right? This was my little fantasy. I don't know if you've ever dreamed of something like that, going in there and firing your boss, right? But I had that in my head, but they ended up laying me off right before. I'm like, ah! But then anyway, I still got fired up. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. It's time to get out there and grind, right? So, I did it. I did exactly what I was doing before, except for now I'm full-time. I have more time to lay by the pool. I have more time to read. Have more time to listen to inspirational, information. Had more time to surround myself with successful people and slowly pick up little bits of success. And since then, I've gone on to help some other people. Actually, I just sponsored somebody the other day, had another 4-figure day, $1,600 in my business. And, things are great, right? But there is still work to be done, and I still want to help other people do what I do and live the life that I live. And if you're in limu or you're thinking of getting in and you want to do it, just know that this list is the fastest way to get you off the ground. It's the fastest way to get you moving quickly but you really shouldn't spend more than a couple of weeks or a month or something like that running through those people as fast as possible. You know, most of them aren't going to be interested anyway, so just see who's interested, cold call them all, or call them all up, get them all to the presentation, present it to them, and then while you're doing that, I want you to learn how to market. Learn a couple simple steps for attracting people to you that want to join your business, all right? So how you're going to do that? You're going to click on the link directly below this video right now. That's going to take you to a page. On that page, you'll put your email address in there, and that's going to let you see a video. That video is going to teach you 3 things you can do to market your business, to get people to fall in love with buying stuff from you, you know, to really kind of rant and rave about the stuff you're going on. It's ultimately just marketing tricks, right? Just like you see TV has commercials and magazine ads and stuff, and while Limu doesn't want to do traditional marketing to sell their stuff, you can do your own marketing and build your own business, and it's a hell of a lot better. You know, things are a lot cooler for me now than back when I was struggling, inviting people to presentations. Most of the time, them not showing up. You know, going to a big presentation, a weekend, you know, hotel meeting. I got my giant leader there. You know, he's making millions of dollars, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I got my one friend that came. Like, all right, I'm looking around and like, there's other people there that brought nobody. One person brought like 3 people, and another person, and 90% of the room are already in, right? I'm like, man, he's just giving this presentation. They're clapping and cheering and stuff, and you know, it's all good to be fired up and happy about, you know, changing lives and changing people's health and wealth and their financial situation and how they are inside. And I'm happy with that too, but you know, I just kind of wanted a way to build it faster. That wasn't working for me because I had a full-time job, 40, 50 hours a week. And, you know, I just couldn't do it that way. But learning to market my business completely changed everything, all right? So I want to do that for you. Click on the link below right now, watch that video, and take some massive action, all right, guys?